LLDJSTAR.
Ooh, DJ Star, you a fool.
Mi cama, bien loquita. Cara de santa, pero es una bandida. Que loquita. Tiene mala fama, pero esa es su vida. Pues loquita. Fuma conmigo, champán y bebida. Pues loquita. Vamos a portarnos mal. No busco nada normal.
The primary purpose of the CAF podcast is to express platform for creatives to express their personal views or opinions without restriction or censorship. All views or opinions expressed during the CAF podcast are solely those of individuals expressing such views or opinions and does not reflect the views of the CAF podcast.
But shit, worst case worst, we can knock your episode out. So, here we go. Season 7 Cal Podcast, man. This is what up this season, man. Don't know if anybody ever, but I might, if they do hop on, I might block them for a minute or two. But this is a different episode. I don't think we ever did this one before, not by himself. But we got Perk gonna do his episode, and most of them gonna talk about is him on his fast. See what he got from it, see what he learned from it. Oh, shoot, damn it. No, they in my phone, my questions. Hold on. Please some of them in my notes. Shoot. Oh, no. There they go. Okay, I got them. I got them. All right. Yeah. So this episode is dedicated to Perk, and we're gonna talk about him. What did he get from his fast? So first thing first, we gotta always ask, since you is a guest today, even though you're not. Perk, how's your mental health?
I'm gonna say it is fairly well. I'm gonna say it's fairly well, one, just because just life. Life been lifing. Job wise, dealing with some stuff with kids, and if anybody don't know, I get real passionate when people try to take advantage of kids, and so being a good student advocate, I hate when adults take advantage of kids. So all in all, I think I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm here. I'm on this side of the dirt, so I'm good. Can't hear you.
That's straight mute.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So what would be the general reason to go on a fast? Because you like, I want to say in the last 4 years, I think you've been on 3, and they all been more than about 4 to 5 months.
Yeah.
Like, what's the general reason for somebody to go on a fast, and what's the general reason for you when you go on a fast?
I think the general reason to go on a fast is to be closer to God, if that's what you spiritually are, or not even just God, but just a spirit fast. I know, in the beginning of the year, people go on fast just because it's the beginning of the year. But I've been on some fasts. I've been on fasts. I've been on cleanses. I've been on weight losses fast. I've been on spiritual fast. I think for me, it's always to get closer to God. Always good to reset your body. But I think most importantly for me is to get closer to God. I think with the people around us who have passed, I think for me it's just making sure that I got a place uh upstairs. I know, we went to school and we had fun, and I deal with that now with a lot of adults because they ask the question of, like, Perk, why you don't trip about it? I was like, man, I was in school once. The problems we went through, the struggles, shoot, one person in family paying for us to eat for the weekend. So um, I think it's a struggle, but it's a challenge. But it also is a growing pain. But I think for me, pretty much my fast is really just to become closer to God and be the man that I'm supposed to be and who He knows me to be, and definitely be uh, a better father to the kids that I want to bring in this world, as well as being a husband.
Hmm. Okay. Well, why do you go on the long fast? Because once again,
Um, the
most people like they do the fast. What's the
21 day.
yeah, then the one that's the one after Mardi Gras, right?
You talking about you talking about the one that's what is that I can't even think of the word right now.
Because I know the 21 day. I know the one after Mardi Gras where they Lent,
Lent, yeah.
and then you have some people who are going a 2 week fast or a 7 day fast or stuff like that. But
Mm.
literally, how long this last fast lasted?
It was from January 8th to
January 8th.
Easter, which
Yeah.
was March 31st.
So why the longs?
One, I mean, after you do, the 21 day fast, your body kind of gets used to it, and then it just becomes a ritual thing. Like you just get used to it. Our body get used to stuff real quick. So 21 days kind of went by. I think um last year probably was the longest I did, because it was actually till Stars B-Day weekend, which was in June. Um, and then it's just interesting to see like me on a fast and how it affects other people. Me being on the fast and then people worried about what I can eat, what I can't eat. um, and then worried about me being on social media. I had some people today, hit me up on social media. It was like, I hadn't seen you post nothing, and then you post that, and it's just like it's real interesting when you come back um to see what people still doing. And then I think it was a post that I posted maybe 3-4 years ago. It was saying um leave everything alone, get off social media, and then come back in 6 months and see who's still with
Mhm. So what? How do you? So if somebody was to start a fast today, how would they? How would you tell them to maintain a healthy balance in life, but also sticking to the fast and sticking to whatever the end result they're trying to get to, or what they're trying to hear or even get?
Pick some stuff that you can really do though. A lot of people be like, they'll tell me, oh, well, you've been doing it long, you've been strong. And I'm like, it didn't start off like that. My first time doing my fast, which was no meat, was the hardest. But I learned a lot about my body. I learned a lot about myself. And then to be honest, it just brought me closer to God because in that time, um, you find out how much time you wasting. You find out how much time you spend on social media, how much time you spend, you know, sitting around doing nothing. But when you on that fast, you more thinking about what you can't do instead of what you can do. Because a lot of people like, well, I can't just go without meat, and it's like, man, listen, if you can make one day, you can make 20 days. So most times when people ask me, I just tell them to pick something that if it's your first time, pick something that is kind of hard, but not that hard. But then also make sure that you could do it with somebody, because doing it with somebody is kind of easy. It helps you because you dependent on that person, and then both of y'all have some goals that y'all trying to get.
Are there any emotional struggles when you're going through the fast? Like some
Yeah,
days?
yeah. I mean, like your first, even now, when I first went on it, like my first couple of days, your mind is trying to tell you something that it needs, that it thinks it needs because you've been doing it for so long. But then you have the stressful moments, you have the isolations, just because you're mentally um going through something to be stronger mentally, because you're taking away something that it's like breathing air, whether it's meat, sweets, sodas, eating fast food, um, you know, to you can't watch TV. So there's a whole lot of psychological going on that you got to fight through. And then, like I said, the hardest part was dealing with people, because, like, going to, I think one of the things I couldn't do was smoke cigars. Uh, I could only do it twice a month. So, but there were times that I would go to the cigar bar and not smoke, and so people were like, "Well, how can you do that?" And I'm like, you know, running away from it ain't finna help you. Just saying, "Oh, I ain't gonna do this," or "I'm not gonna do that," then it doesn't show how strong you are, how disciplined you are. For me, um, even with the food thing, the hardest part is making sure that you have food that you're supposed to eat at home at hand, because the thing about with meat for me is that when you say you're not going to eat meat, normally your body will start to eat fat, eat what you've already ate, whether it was today, yesterday, whatever. When you go on just a vegetable, fruit, anything but meat fast, your body is really hungry. And sometimes it will start to make you feel down and out. So you have to have those foods near, because when you do the meat, you can start at 12 and be like, I'm hungry. It'll be 6, 7, 8 o'clock. You still talking about you hungry. That's just how it happens when you eat meat. But when you're eating healthy and you get hungry, oh, I gotta eat. Because if I don't, my head will start hurting. I'll start lagging. I might fall asleep. I get real tired. And your body, you start finding out how foods interact with your body. Like I know I could go, I can go eat a burger and or just eat food like a baked chicken or something like that. My body will make me slow down. But on my fast, man, I could eat um a good salad or even like a veggie pizza, and then 3, 4 hours later I'm hungry. And so it just kind of how you learn your body a lot in the fast.
Man, Season 7 Cal Podcast, this whatever, man. We got Perk in here talking about this fast. Now, you said you said you're gonna smoke a cigar twice a month,
Yeah, during that time I was only smoking twice a month.
but you still went to the cigar shop.
Hmm.
So how was that dealing with that? Because that's like running into the beast of the belly, knowing that you can't do something, know that you like doing this, love doing it, but knowing that I already did it twice, but I'm just here in the presence of something that I can't be doing. So what is that like?
It's a process. Like I said before, I mean, when
Because
I
you got somebody dealing with sugar,
Mhm.
talking about they fasting from sugar, but then they go to an ice cream shop or they go to the cookie store, or
Mhm.
somebody dealing with smoking weed, but they're around weed. Like,
I mean, it's just being disciplined. Like I said before, it's not, an easy thing. It was. I'm not gonna say it was easy. I'm not gonna say it wasn't tempting, but I knew what my goal was. My goal was to make it to Easter weekend. My goal was to find some peace about some things. Dealing with, I think the hardest thing for me to deal with in the last um 4 to 5 years probably has been death. Knowing that we're getting older, knowing that the people around us have left, like we can't pick up the phone and call them. And then just like being able to listen to sermons and understand something different than what I've learned last year. I'm I think I feel like I'm at a point now I hear God when he tell me to do something or when he telling me to tell somebody to do something. I feel like, now as I get older, I'm more into what my purpose is and not what I don't think I've ever been a crowd pleaser, but I feel like I wanted people to feel I wanted people to be happy. So I think now I've learned to be more in my purpose, but also be there for other people and try to guide people when they ask me for guidance.
Mhm. So who held you accountable through this whole process, or it was just you on you?
Me, um, me, but I mean, again, other people that knew that I was kind of on a fast and I wasn't eating certain things. They were the worst. Like, I remember a couple times like calling my frat brother and we were talking about going to eat, and he was like, "Well, man, what you want to eat? You can only eat such and such." And I'm like, "Bro, you the one got to eat. Why are you worried about what I'm eating?" So I was like, "Well, man, we can go eat pizza or whatever." He was like, "Well, you can't eat pizza because you know what I'm saying you can't have meat or whatever." And I'm like, "That's why they got veggie pizza." And he was like, "Oh," and even cigar lounge, they was like, "Man, you ain't drinking and you ain't smoking. Like, man, how you can just sit?" I'm like, "Bro, listen, I just enjoy a good time. That don't bother me. I mean, I did want to smoke, but I mean, if I had already smoked my one time or I had already set dates that I knew like uh a couple games happened. I wanted to watch some game and smoke a cigar that time, then I did it that day, but couldn't do it the next day. So just holding myself accountable. And I think that's something that's hard for a lot of people to do now is hold ourselves accountable, but also have people around you that hold you accountable.
So we don't talk about fast accountability, the stuff you gave up, the stuff you did. How did the fast help hurt the man?
I would say, man, it made me realize what I like the stuff that I was doing, man, probably
Because we're
is
finna get into relationships next, and both
yeah.
sides, friendship and man.
It made me from it being 24. I wish there was a lot of stuff I wish I could take back. But I also know in that same token, those situations made me who I am today. But I feel like it made me know that I want to be married. Um, whether that's monogamous or whatever the lady I'm with is for, it made me understand that um, the one thing I can't say the last 2 years has made me realize is being vulnerable and
Really my questions.
learning how to be with a woman and be vulnerable with that woman.
All right, nigga, you stealing my questions. Like, that was question from seven, but we're gonna go there now. So you say vulnerability, learning the deal. Wait a minute, say that again.
Learning to be vulnerable with a woman, like
So
um,
what is that for Perk? Because everybody vulnerability is different. Mine is different. Yours is different. Teachers is different. What is vulnerability for Perk? If you don't mind sharing. And by the way, there are certain people watching.
um, uh, being vulnerable for me would probably be probably be just being open about my feelings. Taking some walls down that I have had up for a while. Uh, Learning who Perk really is outside of what people know me as or what I was probably in college, but just being vulnerable as far as with my personal feelings, with my spiritual feelings, um, and not really caring what anyone thinks about them.
So just laying it on the line, and if she accept it,
Yeah,
accept it. If she don't, she don't.
yeah, because I mean, I think we had this misconception when we in college or when we, as we grow, we're like, okay, we want this and we want that, but then we get those things and then we find out that they're not. And now I'm at an age where I'm like, I want, I want to be married, but watching a lot of people and being with a lot of these people, most of them have, uh, most of them either divorced, getting divorced. And it's like, I really don't want to go through that, but I also want to be happy though. And so my thing is just trying to find that middle ground that I can feel like I'm being peace. I'm gonna be at peace with. And being at peace is being with somebody that you can be vulnerable with. I mean, just because she fine and all that don't mean you can be vulnerable with her either.
Okay. I'm gonna skip real quick, but I'm still gonna come back to that. And now dealing with vulnerability, we talking about dealing with a female partner. How's that is dealing with like friendship, people who ain't trying to get with Perk but care for Perk. And I'm talking about female wise, but then you got your boys. Like, how's that going through the fast, working that vulnerability out?
I think, um, I think one, I've learned that we have to accept people who they are. Um, I've learned at different stages in my life, dealing with different people, that I have to let people be them. Like, even if you're a drug dealer, we friends, then I know you're a drug dealer, but I ain't a drug dealer. And I think that has to be where it's a give and take in that. And so some of my friends, you know, are more than just friends. Like, I feel like we family. So some of my friends, we'll probably just be friends. And I think just being able to be family with a lot of my friends has had and they know who I am and they accept me for who I am. I think it's a mutual agreement. Like, I might not talk to them every day, like me and you probably do, but when I do talk to them, it's it's like we picked up where we left off. And so I think I've been blessed with a lot of people that I know that I can be vulnerable with as far as just being friends, and being, coworkers, classmates, being alumni from the same school. I don't think a lot of people are blessed like that. So I feel privileged for the people that think highly of me and I think highly of them.
Now I'm gonna jump back to it because I think you said this. It was what I think no. Okay, so Steve Harvey said happy wife, happy life. And I think you said if happy wife, happy life don't mean that how you say it?
It don't mean that you really happy.
Right. And then at the time, I ain't ever been married. I just been out here doing my thing. But when I thought about it, I like that's correct. Like you telling me I got to be in a relationship where I got to make sure my wife is happy, but I'm up here miserable and sad, and that's gonna make me a better man for her. So dealing with going back to vulnerability, how would you relay that message to her, knowing that, hey, listen, um, I'm gonna do my part, but can I get this or let her know like if you don't let me have this, then we shouldn't be together. I don't know how to say that because you ain't married or in a relationship.
Um, I think it go back to a couple episode or seasons when we talked about, representatives up front. I think I'm at a point now where I don't have a representative up front. I'm very um upfront about my feelings, and I'm upfront about what I want and what I won't take. Um, no disrespect to no female, but I just know what I'm capable of, what I will allow, and what I want to go through. But I also know who I am, and a lot of that is a problem for a lot of females because a lot of dudes don't know who they are, and some of them are trying to figure it out uh, while they're trying to pursue another female, and some of it work out, some of it don't, and I think that's why a lot of relationships a lot of marriages are getting divorced now because um someone once said like, hey, people getting married and they're just thinking about the marriage and not what goes on after the marriage.
Mhm.
And in my head, it kind of resonated with me because it's like I need somebody that I can be myself around. I can be cool with my friends and my family can accept, and I can just be vulnerable with that person. So I just feel like now I have come to a place where I'm just honest with me. Like you could be fine and you can be all that, but do you fit me and do I fit you? And sometimes I don't think a lot of people do that. Like we as men, we go off looks and it's great. It's just who we are. But my thing is we have to be equally yoked. And if we ain't equally yoked, it's not gonna work.
Okay. So the fast you went through from January to March, is that is it going to help you short term? Well, you got an echo. Is it going to help you short term or is it going to help you for the rest of 2024? Or are we going to see the difference your fast did in the next couple of months, or we won't see it fully affect until the end of the year or 2025?
Oh, you see the fights every day. That's just something I feel like every day that I was on the fast, I was learning something new, whether it was at work, talking to friends, or even introducing myself to other people, going on dates, um, um, trying to be who I need to be um, as a black man, and then just trying to be as a God fearing man. I just think it's an everyday thing. Now, as far as long term goes, I think those things will show themselves uh, in years to come. But I do think every day I think I can say I see a difference in myself every day through my fast.
Okay, because the only reason I brought it up because when I got off my fast last year, I didn't see nothing for like 2 months. And then that's when the situation with Mulan happened. And then something happened with my truck. And then all this other stuff just started popping up. And it was like everything that I asked for, it didn't start popping until then.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I started seeing the difference in it. So that's why when I ask people when they go on a fast, is it fast for today or is it for tomorrow? See if your mic working out, Quita.
I'm on my phone.
Oh, that was better then, because first it was an echo.
I wasn't saying nothing though.
No, it was an echo though.
Someone still echoing.
Mm.
So
I'm trying to get on the computer.
okay. Well, this episode is about Perk. We're talking about Perk on this fast. So season 7, it's whatever. Theme created by Quita. And this whatever we're talking with Perk. All right, let me go back to my question because you killed one of them. Vulnerability.
You killed the question, bro?
Yeah, that was gonna be question 7, but he brought it up instantly. Okay. So going through the fast, how did you feel? Oh, no, we talked about that. This one, okay. So how did you handle dealing with people with conflicts?
What you mean?
Like, I don't know if I can talk about that. Like when somebody came to you with some BS and you're going through it fast and you're not trying to get in that headspace. Like, how did you handle that? Because I know there's certain things you can't do. And right now, when you trying to strive to get something, and here comes something out the blue, like what is your mind? How did you handle it? Like, what is the mindset you was in when it popped up? Because it did. I know something popped up.
Well, I mean, I think when I did have one pop up, like I really had like I think like the the meme said when people was, they'll start typing something and then it'll be like God be like, delete it. I had one of those moments where I was ready to flash out and God kind of just like, nah, let it go. And so that's kind of where I've been with a lot of different situations. I just stopped talking. I really didn't give them anything to go on. I let them have that win and moved on. Just because one, it's a lot of people getting shot at for no reason. I don't want to get shot. I just be real with you about that one. So a lot of times it's, you got it. I was with one of my homeboys one time, and it was this little dude walked in, and he did something, kind of like looked at me, and I was like, "You got a big dog?" And he looked at me, and I was like, "Nah, you got a big dog." My homeboy was like, "Why you call him big dog?" Oh, he a big dog at this point. Like, I'm good, baby. You can have it. Whatever I wanted, I don't want it now. You got all. But I mean, it's just a thing now. Like, people got guns, they want to shoot.
Trigger happy.
I got a gun, but I don't want to shoot nobody unless I have to. My thing is, I just learned that, everything don't cause for a battle. Like, everything ain't worth a battle. I don't have to win. I don't. And coming from me, I think the last time we went to homecoming, this dude brought that up. It was about how I was when I was in college. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm way far away from that now.
Did Perk need to go on the fast in 2024?
You said, did I need to?
In 2024,
What you mean?
did you need to go on the fast? Like, did
Uh,
you need to go on the fast, or did you want to go on the fast?
No, I needed it and then I wanted. I needed one just to reset my mind. I wanted it just because um I feel like when I'm in a fast, I have something to drive me. I have something to prove to myself. Um, even with all of the trials and tribulations, the people trying to talk me into it, just to show that I'm disciplined and I can stick to what I plan. You know, they say, God will give you some small things to see how you're gonna do before he give you big things.
I fail every time, Lord. Shut up, Perk.
You the one said it. Don't tell me.
Want to sniggle?
Like the question was for Perk, but I mean, no, we ain't
I
doing
just
it.
responded to what he said. The small
No,
things, be the
no,
small. You knew I wasn't ready for that test, Lord.
no. This is about Perk. This episode, we'll deal with you
Oh,
another time. So
Perk be calling me.
yeah.
All you to make sure you all right.
I know.
So
It be messing up every time.
every time. Hand in the cookie jar.
Hand on the way to the cookie jar.
Yeah, Lord, I'm gonna start over on Monday. Let me just get through Saturday and Sunday.
Through the weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. I promise, Lord, I'm gonna start at Monday at 12 a.m. I'm gonna start.
Well, since we're getting there, so talk about the importance of being consistent during the fast, because everybody does have their slip ups, but keep being consistent. She getting on her computer.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I say you got to pick something that you know that you can work at. Like if you know you can't do it for 21 days, then do 7 days, do 10 days.
What what boundaries did you set up for yourself? Like when you say, all right, I'm doing this fast, I'm doing it from January to March. This I'm putting up no matter what, nobody can get through this. No, like this is the boundary that nobody can get into no matter what.
Button too, if you want to see more podcasts from Florida, go follow our main man, Florida. Don't play with it.
Shout out to Florida.
Yeah,
Shout out to
shout out,
Florida.
huge shout out to Florida, man. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, it was perfect.
DJ Star.
Just the food was it really. The cigar thing was hard for the first month. Well, no, I take that back. The cigar, all of it was hard after the second month. When I got to like mid-February is when it started really kicking my ass. Like I was like,
That part. See, that's where talk about that, because that's where some people they ain't throwing no shots. They would fall.
yeah,
Will say, you know what? I think I made it this far. I'm good enough, instead of completing all the way to March.
uh, because I did, long before. It was one of those I gotta see it through. I gotta, you know, press on, because I could have did it longer, but I wanted I wanted to see I wanted to see how my body was gonna react to it. Then I wanted to see what God had for me. Um, I prayed about a lot of things before I started my fast, and that's another thing too. Um, a lot of people don't do is get mentally ready for the fast. Get mentally ready for the fast, and then getting yourself set up, and especially when it comes to food, set up with the food that you need for the fast. I think I take like a week of mentally getting myself ready to where, okay, I know I can't do this, and I know I can't eat this, and I know I can't go here. Um, because people will tempt you. Um, Smelling that smoke a couple times. Even now, getting off of it, I'm trying to figure out a way to not be as bad, especially now that I stay closer to the cigar bar. Uh, Before I went on the fast, oh man, it was. I'm gonna say it was like Thursday to Sunday for like 2 months straight, and I mean we talking about 1, 2 cigars a day, Thursday to Sunday for 2 months straight, and it was like, okay, I gotta do something. Like this ain't gonna be good. And so, I mean, even like now, I've been off. Um, I think I smoked like 3 cigars.
Since you got off it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that's like one.
Yeah, but we going in today, Thursday, and I got this weekend. But I'm trying not to just go hard in it. But man, the thing that I can tell you that I got from my fast was the moment when you can hear a sermon or hear when God talking to you is different. It's definitely different to a point where it's it's so exciting, but it's so humbling at the same time.
What was something that you were going through the fast each month? And I don't know if you can remember something that was memorable during the fast. Like, what was something memorable in January, February, and then March?
January was really just it was almost like the hump of the fast. Like if once I made it through January, it's like, okay, I made it. Now let's be consistent. February was the part of why did I even sign up to do it? Like I had days where I was like, okay, I'm gonna just go smoke a cigar. I got 6 things on here, one thing ain't gonna hurt me, but then it was like, why not just be perfect at the end? And then it was um if I'm gonna be a leader of a household, can I be disciplined to lead my house?
Mm.
And so it made me focus more on um being a man of my word. And I think that was what I learned the most was a lot of times we just think being a man is that, but it's like your word is everything. If you don't have your word as a man, you don't really have anything.
Mm.
So for me,
Preach.
it was more of I said I was gonna do this. I had to start it, and then um, I had to prove a lot of people wrong. From the cigar lounges to some of my frat brothers to uh, some of my brothers that I talk to, and then just some of the friends that I'm really cool with. Even people at my job. I had a lady in my job who I felt like she an older lady, but I felt like she was trying me because she'll be like, she'll have food and then she'd be like, well, I was gonna offer you some, but yeah, I cooked all the meat in there. You don't want that. And so I'm like, okay. And she did. It was like the first time I was like, you could have brought me some or whatever. It's an older lady. And I was like, you could have brought me some of them greens or whatever. She was like, yeah, I was gonna do that, but then I cooked mine with a whole bunch of meat. So it's just meat all in the greens. I'm like, yeah.
But does that help motivate you to keep going when people say
Yeah.
try you?
Yeah. I mean, because now it's
So
like
you couldn't eat the greens, you couldn't pick around the meat.
I mean I can if it's big. If it's not, then it's
Okay.
um it's some people do it, and then some people be trying to do you because they just want to prove that you ain't gonna be able to do it. So for me, it's about proving them wrong.
Ooh, I
That's
can't make it out of January.
that'd be my motivation though. Well, I'll say this though. What I've learned from my first time doing a fast for 21 days is that what I set out the reason to do the fast was what I got at the end.
Why 21 days?
Well, the 21 days come from the Daniel fast of 21 days, and then 21 days is if you could do it for 21 days, you could change your lifestyle.
I
But
made
if
about 14.
but if I
So
whatever I
ashamed.
whatever I
So
did
ashamed.
on first
So ashamed.
my
So
first
ashamed.
I'm really not ashamed. Now I was
No,
disappointed.
no, I'm ashamed.
Oh, I was disappointed in myself, but it made me realize I was fasting from the wrong thing.
and that's a good thing. I've said that before. You got to fast from some things that you got to start on some baby stuff if you just now start. You can't
I
go out there and try to hit a home run the first time.
I was fasting habits,
Yeah.
but I should have been fasting people and habits.
Mm.
That's a learning lesson.
This is having Cow Podcast, man. It's whatever. We got Perk in here talking about his fast. Who do you got any more questions before I get to the nasty questions and then to the Cow Podcast questions?
The nasty questions.
I was trying to wait to see if
I just
gonna get on.
feel like Perk kind of like our dad. We finna ask Perk some nasty questions.
Yeah, he went through it fast.
Huh?
Like intimacy, like the touch of a woman. Yeah, like how's that? Like what were the thoughts? What's going through your head? Is it like now you're back on Instagram and you see what you see, then you in where you at, and I know they popping out.
But he already said like that.
Like
you can't just bring pussy to Perk table.
No, but the visual, the mindset.
I mean, they been there.
Yeah, like he literally just said that. Like it's that even. I'm not gonna say that doesn't interest him, but it's not that you got to come with more than that. So each
I could be transparent about it. I can say if I went or just speaking to some females on IG, Facebook, or whatever. Sometimes I get replies back and sometimes I don't. If I tried to holler at maybe 20 females on IG, I probably would only get 2 replies back. And reason being is because one, because of what they see in me. This pastor said that I was watching the other day. He said I had this woman who I would have gave everything up for. He said she was fine, she was all that, and he said she stopped talking to him. And when he called her, he was like, are you sick or is something wrong with you? Are you, what's going on? And she said, you know what? I am not the Christian woman for you. And he said, he said, yeah, I know that. And she was like, you starting to slow down on going to church. And if I asked you to have sex with me right now, you would. He said, I would. I would give everything up for you. And she said, yeah. She said, and God told me if I did that, he'll make my life a living hell. So what I learned from that was I've been around some females who've been like that. They didn't say those exact words, but they was just like, well, Perk, you a little different. It's certain stuff I just can't do with you. And I'm like, why? Why you can't do that with me? I ain't nobody. But then I go on and what I learn is pretty much what we talked about at the start pass. I learned what they were intimidated by me about. And so with that, you have to accept what come with it. When God give you something and he put something on you, you have to accept everything that come with that, whether it be, losing some people that can have conversation. I still got friends that I have, we could talk about, the drug life, we could talk about the gang life. But I feel like when it comes to, a woman now, you could be fine, but you gotta be more than fine to have a conversation with me. And you can't just bring your body because that's what you bringing. It's your body. You're not bringing nothing else. And I need more than just your body and what you can do for me. I need to be able to have some substance. Like, if we mad, can we still communicate? If we frustrated with each other, are we still gonna be able to grow? Can we build an empire? If we got married and something happened to you where you lost your looks, would I still be into you? And that comes from another place of love. Like
that comes from a strong foundation.
Yeah, like you really truly love someone. Like, and I don't think I don't think I would have ever learned that if some people had left. I don't think I would have learned how to love people just because. And I think that was kind of like what one of the reasons why I started going to church when I was in Grambling was one of the pastors was talking about having agape love. And I feel like with my wife, that's what I had to have with her. I have to have that, like, I'm loving you just because, not for what you did for me, not for what you do for me, not for what you do for anybody. I just love you just because. And that's,
Mm-hmm.
I think right now for me, that's the hardest thing to happen is that and being vulnerable with somebody. Those just don't come lightly with me. I feel guarded when I'm around certain people. Some people know me as, oh, well, he just the quiet one. It's not really. I really just don't trust you. Um, when I trust you, then I feel comfortable. And if I don't feel comfortable, I'm gonna be the quiet one.
But were you tempted by anybody during the
Well, one, sex wasn't a fast on my fast. That was one thing. Two, I wasn't tempted by nobody. Um,
Because
and
even when you're going through a fast, the devil, he know what you weak at. He might slip your way.
yeah, I mean, I'm still human at the same time, but the thing is now, where I'm at now, um, sex is not something that I'm just trying to have. Um, if I am, then it's just an itch that need to be scratched. But the
Mm.
thing is, I would rather want to have sex with somebody that I have a future with. And the thing is, I would tell you I could have a conversation, we could talk, I could try it, but if I don't feel it, I just don't feel it.
So every day on your fast, like what exactly, like, was it a scripture every day, meditation,
Um, I started out
prayer?
I started out with the scripture. Um, I started out with the scripture. I was doing like a verse a day, but that didn't work out. Um, and then it was more of just listening to uh got new gospel songs, upbeat contemporary gospel songs. And then it was listening to different sermons, listening to different pastors talk about, different things. And then um probably the last couple weeks listening to motivational speakers, um, and just trying to think about, where I want to be. What um what kind of person do I want Perk to be? Um learning how to be a better supervisor, learning how to be a better friend, brother, um even to some of the kids who call me pop or dad or father, learning how to be um instrumental to them, um and not knocking who's in their life, but because I've been blessed to be in their life, but being able to give them words of wisdom, not be judgmental over stuff that they tell me. And then I think the biggest thing that I'm more thankful for now out of all my fasts in the last 10 years is that I don't carry those problems home with me.
fast.
Used to carry those problems home. I used to carry those problems daily, but not letting those problems hurt me to where I I'm I'm more stressed out about their problems than they are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. All right, Perk, finna get into these cow podcast questions. So, first three we already did, so we're just gonna get to it. Perk, what is your love language? Words of affirmation, acts of service, receive and give, quality time, physical touch.
Neither.
None of those.
I don't think I had one because I done had people do all of them. I think it's just the connection. I'm more turned on with a female that say she go to church than the others.
Did you say don't go to church?
Go to church.
Oh.
It's a first and a cap, and it would be a co-host. Okay. Perk, what would you prefer? Massage or Vegas to do whatever you want?
You said what?
A massage, self-care, or 24 hours in Vegas to do whatever you want.
24 hours of Vegas.
What have you learned about yourself in the last 5 years?
I'm passionate about helping students. I am great when people give me time to do stuff. And if you leave me alone, I won't be your worst nightmare.
Would you rather have sex on the beach or sex on the balcony?
On the balcony.
Bayou Classic or Dallas?
Bayou Classic.
Bayou Classic or Homecoming?
Homecoming.
What is your biggest goal for 2024?
To be married.
By the end of 2024 or engaged?
Engaged.
Okay. Would you rather write a long love letter or write a long love text message to her?
Long letter.
This is a good one. How many times have you self-care for yourself this year?
I self-care every weekend.
If money, health, and time wasn't an issue, what is something that you would start today?
An event center.
Bert, what are 2 things that you love about Black people?
Pretty much what most people have said. I think the part that we forgive. And then we'll make a joke out of anything.
Did I answer that one? Yeah, please go. I think that's pretty much it. The rest of the questions we didn't answer. I do got one more question. I'm just trying to make sure. Oh, no limit or cash money?
No limit.
Just questions for Quita. And just be specific, get straight to the point. How long should good sex last?
This to you, Quita.
No, this for you. I need you to answer.
How long should good sex last?
How long should good sex last?
Until it's not last.
Until she comes.
Because people like me can come in like the first 2 minutes.
That's the wrap.
They come the first 2 minutes. Stop that. Please stop that.
Perk, can you tell the difference when somebody value you or desire you?
Yes.
And explain.
When somebody value you, there's no limit on what they would do for you. And then you don't have to do nothing for it. It just comes. When they desire you, it's more about one thing than about it being across the board. Like they only want one thing from you. They don't want the whole kid and caboodle.
This question I meant to ask you when we was on with everybody else, but I'm gonna ask you because this sounds like a you type of question. How do you navigate and maintain a healthy balance between intimacy and personal space in your relationship?
Say that one more time.
How do you navigate and maintain a healthy balance between intimacy and personal space in your relationship?
I think with having a balance is having someone who is not a nagger. Having someone who knows that you all need time apart, that you can't be together all the time. And then learning that, having um having times where you still are in the mode of pursuing that person. I think a lot of times when people get into relationships and they get the person, they stop pursuing them. And then the biggest thing is I feel like um when you meet someone that they have to already love themselves and they're already happy and you're not trying to make them love themselves or make them happy. You're trying to make them happier and love them even more. So
I believe that you have to know your person. If you know your person, you're going to be able to sense that they need space.
mm-hmm,
Like, you're going to be able to feel that. You're going to be able to see that.
mm-hmm. I think that's true. But I think that also means, being open to that. Like I think a lot of times people get in relationships and they they get caught up in the fact of, oh, we're together and we're not supposed to argue and we're not supposed to have these disagreements. But it's like those disagreements are what make us stronger.
And
Those
growth,
disagreements
yeah.
are what make us know each other when we go outside of our safe space. Um, I even thought in my fast one day this week, I had a situation with a student that where I felt like something was done wrong, and it really peed me off. To where I came home and I just went to sleep. And when I got up, I thought about it, and I was like, could I be with somebody who would be okay with that? To where if I came home mad and I laid down and went to sleep, that they would just let me be and not question like what's wrong, what's going on, like how can I help instead of, okay, just go to sleep, and then at some point talk about it later. I think that's real big for me. Um, like Quita said, knowing your person, being able to read the room. I think that's a hard part for people when they really fall in love because they feel like, well, I need to know everything and you need to be able to tell me and we need to be able to have that conversation. So for me, I need the person that I'm with to know me, to accept who I really am. We were talking in a group the other day, and or we were talking it was a survey group, and they were talking about things, and I said, when we work in these places, a lot of people see us one way, and they feel like we should be like that every day, all day, and then some days when you don't be that way, they feel like something's wrong. And the lady said, yeah, because a lot of people feel like I should be upbeat, but she was like, sometimes I need somebody to fill my cup too.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that for me, like I have to say that now at the beginning of me talking to somebody. Like there will be days that I probably don't want to call you. There will be days that I don't want to talk to you. And it's not that I don't, it's that it's the part of I take on or I say it again.
The mental part of it.
Yeah, well that and then it's just a part of like I feel like I help people all day. I'm listening to these deep life traumas, and sometimes it's just like I don't want to talk. Like I just want to
Yeah.
sit here and enjoy us being in the same space or us leaning on each other or laying on each other. And some people I feel like, at the beginning it's like, well, yeah, I'm good with that, and we could be with each other, and we don't have to talk, and then it's like the moment comes, and it's like, you sitting there, and it's like, well, what's wrong? Nothing. I'm good. No, something wrong. What's wrong? No, something finna be wrong because you keep asking me that question. That's definitely what's finna happen.
I think you would somewhat. You probably wouldn't go into details, but I believe that you would probably have that conversation like today, just one of them days. I just need a minute. Like if you say that, then
No,
there's no point in me
hey,
going back and forth like trying to figure out what's wrong with you. You gonna tell me after a while?
I'm gonna say this to you, and it's gonna be some people see this. It's gonna be some people see this. I have told some people that,
Mm,
and it still didn't go. It just was one of those like, let me know so I can fix it. And what I've learned, even and here's the thing. At first, I was like, I understand because I've been in situations where I had to learn that I can only help and do for what I can do. When there comes that time to where you can't do anything, you just have to be okay with, okay, I can't do nothing about this right now. I can't go fix it. I can't say nothing. I can't do nothing. And for a person who is a fixer, that is a problem. And I mean, the first time that it happened, it broke me. It made me break down to my knees because it was like I can't do nothing. I can't tell you nothing. I can't say nothing. But it was also one of those things that made me understand like God let you do a whole bunch of stuff, but then there's sometimes where He like, okay, this my part. I just need you to do your part. And then when it gets to that point, and I feel like I need to be, I need to just be quiet for a while. I feel like when you're with someone, if they don't understand that, that's gonna be a problem. Because you have become you have not become my safe place. And if you're not a safe place, then it's gonna be hard because it's like at that point it's like I ain't gonna be able to come home. And for Perk, that's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna come home. And if
right.
you say place at home, this is gonna be bad for you. Cause I'm a really just go into a quiet place and then you really gonna feel some type of way.
All right, so this question, I wrote it, I deleted, I wrote it again, and then I deleted, but I wrote it one more time.
Mm.
Hurt. Have you dealt with his death?
Mm, I think I've dealt with it enough to where I'm not emotional about it as much. Um, I think if you go, I want to say that had to be Wheezy. When you asked Wheezy that question, it was very emotional. Um, I think for the longest it was emotional just because what we built, what they told us we couldn't build, what they told us we couldn't do in the state of Louisiana, what they told us we couldn't do in I-20, what they told us we couldn't do at Grambling. Neither one of us was a part of a fraternity, didn't play football, didn't play basketball. It was just off of our personalities. So and then me being away from home, and then his family taking me in, even to this day. And then just the people that we were blessed to have. I think somebody said um they were just looking to be a part of something. And what we had was just genuine, authentic love. Whether it was me being a father figure or the uncle or the brother cussing people out for not doing what they supposed to do. Um, I think it was a lot, man. I mean, even now, I think about, you know, what it would be like if he was here. Even me getting married and him not being there, is probably gonna be an issue. But um, I think is what I've learned through my fasting is, and I hated when it was said when he passed, and I even hate it now. Even when D-Jack passed, was everything happened for a reason. God don't make no mistakes. Um, I hate it, but I mean it's a true saying. So I'll say I'm dealing with it probably better than I thought I would be. I think the biggest thing that I don't like is um people praise the death instead of his birth. I think I have a problem with that, but that's just personal. I just don't think about his death like that. I want to think about the good things he did, the people he touched in the community, as well as um the kids that he touched.
Season 7 Cal Podcast. This episode, Season 7 Cal Podcast. It's whatever. Episode dedicated to Perk, telling us about his fast. I had something else planned, didn't work out, but it worked out anyway. Quita, got anything?
I don't.
I mean, this is the best chance to ask Perk some questions live on air.
I talk to Perk like.
But you can put it on the record now. It's gonna be on YouTube. You get him while it's hot.
Me and Perk go round and round.
All right, Perk, you want to end us off with something before we wrap it up?
I'm good. I think we have to do better as a group. I think we have to take things more serious and put our best efforts forward. The one thing another thing I did learn on my fast is that if we want certain things, we have to accept what come with them. If you want to be a big boss, you got to accept what big bosses do. And I think for me, I'm learning that now as I climb the ladder in higher ed, that some things I thought I want, I'm not ready for them, but what I am ready for, I will take on.
And other than that, like I always say, we're gonna get better and do better. That's Quita. That's Perk. Season 7 Cal Podcast.
We're not sleeping together this year.
You never know what might happen. Well, the way things looking, we might.
We putting it on the record. We're not sleeping together this year.
The way things looking, we all might.
We all might.
All might. The way things looking right now.
This not good, folks.
It is good, folks. It's called bonding.
I think we bonded enough last year.
We need to bond some more. But we'll be fully clothed.
Everybody.
Perk.
He likes to sleep with his shirt off. June 7th through the 9th, we'll be in Shreveport, Louisiana, DJ Star birthday week. Next week, we'll be in Oklahoma. I'm not going to do too much promotion because by the time this video came out, we done been and came back. So, other than that, this episode dedicated to Perk and everybody else. Have a good night.
G14 classified. That's good.
Headline, Starlight. DJ Star.